Do you feel like your energy is fading away? Have you noticed that the spark that once came so naturally is beginning to disappear, or that your confidence in intimacy isn't what it used to be? Many men ask themselves this question in silence. And the hardest part is that it's a subject almost no one talks about, burdened with shame or resignation, as if sexual weakness were simply an inevitable part of aging. But let me tell you something crucial. The strength of your erections and your sexual well-being are not written in your destiny. They are a direct reflection of what is happening inside your body. And here's a secret that most doctors tend to overlook. The cause of weak erections is often found in what you eat, or more precisely, in what you don't eat. Throughout my career, I've helped thousands of men regain control, not with pills or painful procedures, but with the simplest and most powerful medicine that exists: food. Today, I'm going to reveal 6 forgotten superfoods that act as a natural booster for your circulatory system, the engine behind every firm erection. But pay attention, the 6th of these foods is so unexpected that you probably never considered it before. And it's so easy to include in your diet that it could transform your sex life in just a few weeks. Stay with me until the end, because you'll discover how to reignite your vitality using nothing but your plate. Let's begin with the first superfood. It's a dark leafy green vegetable that you probably already know, but whose true power for sexual health is often ignored. I'm talking about spinach. Over the years, I've seen countless men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s come to me with similar stories. One patient, named David, a 59-year-old man who had always been very active, came to my office with his shoulders slumped. "Doctor," he said with a sigh, "my wife and I used to have an amazing sex life. Now I just can't. It's frustrating. It's humiliating. I've tried everything." I asked him a simple question. "David, how many leafy greens do you eat in a week?" He laughed. "Very few, doctor. I've never liked them." I explained that spinach is an incredible source of nitrates. Once your body absorbs them, it converts them into nitric oxide, a key molecule for achieving firm erections. Let's remember that nitric oxide acts as a natural vasodilator, relaxing the walls of your blood vessels. In the penis, this allows tiny vessels to open up, fill with blood, and produce an erection. Without enough nitric oxide, it's like trying to blow up a balloon that has a hole in it. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine showed that a diet rich in nitrates is linked to significant improvements in erectile function. I recommended that David include spinach in his meals, whether in a morning smoothie, a lunchtime salad, or simply sautéed with garlic at dinner. Just 3 weeks later, he came back to my office with a bright smile. "Doctor," he said, "the difference is incredible. I feel more energetic overall, but the most important thing is that my confidence is back. It's like I flipped a switch." Spinach, that humble vegetable, had accomplished what medication couldn't because it addressed the root of the problem: blood flow. And the best part is that it has no side effects. It only improves your health as a whole. This is the power of smart nutrition. And if this surprises you, wait until you discover the second superfood, which not only works as a natural aphrodisiac, but is also excellent for prostate health. This second superfood is a type of nut that often goes unnoticed, but has incredible power. I'm talking about pistachios. I once met a patient named Andrew, a 68-year-old man who was dealing with low libido and less firm erections. He had tried several supplements, but nothing seemed to work. I asked him about his diet and noticed it lacked healthy fats and essential minerals. I explained that pistachios aren't just a simple snack. They're an excellent source of L-arginine, an amino acid that, like the nitrates in spinach, acts as a precursor to nitric oxide. In addition, pistachios are full of antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which can damage blood vessels. Andrew was skeptical. "They're just pistachios, doctor," he said. But I asked him to eat a handful a day, about 3 or 4 times per week. A study published in the International Journal of Impotence Research analyzed the effect of pistachios on men with erectile dysfunction. The result? Men who added them to their diet showed noticeable improvements in erectile function, cholesterol levels, and blood pressure. Andrew came back the following month full of new vitality. "My wife is thanking me," he joked. But it wasn't just a joke. Small changes in his diet translated into a huge boost in confidence and well-being in his relationship. Pistachios are not a magic pill. They're a natural tool that gives your body the nutrients it needs to function as it was designed to. And if this sounds impressive, wait until you learn about the third superfood, one that most men already eat, but not in the right way. The third superfood is a juicy and refreshing fruit, often known as nature's Viagra. I'm talking about watermelon. It's a fruit many people enjoy for its flavor, but few know its true therapeutic potential. A patient named James, 62 years old, told me that he loved watermelon, although he only ate it occasionally during summer. His problem was mild but persistent erectile dysfunction. I explained to him that watermelon is one of the richest sources of an amino acid called L-citrulline. And here's the interesting part. When L-citrulline enters your body, it transforms into L-arginine, which then produces nitric oxide. Yes, it works through the same mechanism as spinach and pistachios. But watermelon is a real powerhouse for this process. A review published in the journal Urology found that L-citrulline supplementation can improve erection firmness in men with mild erectile dysfunction. I recommended that James include watermelon strategically in his diet, not just as a summer dessert, but also as a regular snack or in natural juices. After a few weeks, James called me excited. "Doctor, I don't know if it's the watermelon or what, but everything has improved so much." My wife and I are amazed. I explained that watermelon, thanks to its high L-citrulline content, was giving his body an extra boost to produce the nitric oxide it needed. It's a natural and delicious approach to a frustrating problem, and the best part is that it has no side effects. But watermelon isn't the only fruit with a powerful secret. The fourth superfood, number 4, is a fruit you probably already have in your kitchen, but its sexual health power is hidden in its pigment. This superfood is a small, potent red fruit, cherries. We often associate cherries with desserts or quick snacks, but their true power for male sexual health is rarely mentioned. A patient named Richard, 57 years old, came to me worried about his high blood pressure and how it might affect his sexual performance. I explained that high blood pressure is one of the main contributors to erectile dysfunction because it damages blood vessels and makes it difficult for blood to flow. I suggested that he regularly include cherries in his diet. These fruits are rich in anthocyanins, a type of flavonoid that gives them their vibrant red color. These compounds are powerful antioxidants that have been shown to improve cardiovascular health. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that a high intake of flavonoids, especially anthocyanins, can reduce the risk of erectile dysfunction. I recommended to Richard that a handful of cherries each day could be a delicious start. After a couple of months, Richard's blood pressure was under control, and his sex life had taken a positive turn. "I feel more energetic overall," he told me. "And my wife says I look more vibrant." Cherries are not just a sweet treat. They're a natural tool that strengthens your blood vessels, which translates into firmer erections. And if cherries seem like a simple superfood to you, wait until you hear about the next one, which many of my patients grow in their gardens without realizing its true potential. The fifth superfood is a root with centuries of history in traditional medicine, although modern science is only now confirming its benefits for male sexual health. I'm talking about ginger. I met a man named Fernando, 66 years old, a cooking enthusiast who always used ginger to flavor his dishes, but had never considered it to enhance his sexual well-being. Fernando told me about his circulation problems and the resulting weakness in his erections. I explained that ginger is a powerful vasodilator. Its bioactive compounds, like gingerol, have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that improve blood flow throughout the body, including the penis. A study published in the Avicenna Journal of Phytomedicine showed that ginger can improve blood flow and erectile function in animal models. I suggested that since he already liked it, he could simply increase his intake by adding it to teas, soups, and even salad dressings. When he returned to my office, his eyes were shining in a way I hadn't seen before. "Doctor," he said, "I think it's the ginger. My hands and feet aren't so cold anymore, and I've noticed a huge difference in other areas too." my wife and I feel like we're 40 again. Fernando's story reminded me of how important it is to look beyond the obvious. Sometimes, the most powerful solutions are found in the oldest, most natural remedies. And if ginger seems like a surprising ally, wait until you discover the sixth and final superfood, the one I saved for last because it is the most unexpected and perhaps the most powerful of all. This superfood is something most people associate with breakfast, but it is truly a champion for sexual health: oats. Many of my patients eat it in the morning out of habit, but rarely connect it to their virility. A patient named Edward, 72 years old, was on the verge of giving up. His sex life had almost completely disappeared, and he felt powerless. He told me he had tried everything except what he considered miracle pills or strange supplements. I asked him about his diet, and he mentioned that he ate a bowl of oatmeal every morning. I smiled. Edward, you are already eating one of the best foods for your sexual health. You just need to understand why. Oats are an impressive source of an amino acid called L-arginine, the same one we find in pistachios. In addition, oats are rich in soluble fiber, which helps control blood sugar levels and reduce cholesterol. A study published in Nutrition Research and Practice showed that the soluble fiber in oats can decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease, which is a leading cause of erectile dysfunction. I explained to Edward that his morning bowl of oatmeal was much more than a common breakfast. It was super fuel for his blood vessels, reducing inflammation and improving blood flow in a quiet but powerful way. I suggested increasing his oatmeal intake, not only in the morning, but also incorporating it into baked recipes or to thicken soups. 2 months later, Edward returned to my office with a special sparkle in his eyes. "Doctor," he said, "my wife and I are on vacation again. I feel like time has reversed. Oats had been the answer all along." This humble food had transformed into a superfood for him, helping him regain vitality and confidence. So here they are, 6 forgotten superfoods that are nature's medicine for your erections. Spinach for nitric oxide, pistachios for L-arginine, watermelon for L-citrulline, cherries for blood vessel health, ginger for circulation, and oats for the heart and blood. The most important thing to remember is that the solution is often not in pills or procedures, but in the choices on your plate. You don't need to change your life overnight. Start with one of these foods and notice how you feel. Change begins with a single decision, a single bite. Your body is an incredible machine, and with the right fuel, it can achieve extraordinary things. I've seen it over and over with my patients, and if you've made it this far, it means you take your health seriously. I know that for some, these dietary changes alone might not be enough. You may already be facing more advanced issues and need a more concentrated and faster boost. That's why I created a free guide that reveals a simple 5-minute routine before bedtime, which has helped thousands of my patients reduce inflammation and restore their erections. If you're curious, I've left a link in the description and in the top comment. Your vitality is part of what makes you who you are, and you deserve to feel strong again. You deserve confidence. You deserve to live fully, and the best time to start reclaiming it is now.